Okay, so I wanted to make this video talking about the Batman. The Batman movie in particular, the one with Robert Pattinson. I wanted to just make this video talking about how much I love this take on Batman, or this particular Batman movie. And I will even go as far as to say that I think, me personally, I think this is the best Batman movie. Now, a couple of days ago, not a couple of days ago, like maybe 2 or 3 days ago, it was Halloween. Halloween happened, or it's already happened already. We're in November now, but for Halloween, I was going to watch some horror movies, or I was gonna watch I think I had like a list of like horror movies that I was gonna watch. I didn't end up doing that, unfortunately. Instead, I just decided to, because I'm a huge superhero fan and I'm a huge Batman fan, and it just so happened to be that in the movie itself, or in the timeline of the movie, it takes place during Halloween, or October 31st. Obviously, you have the monologue at the beginning of the movie with, Batman monologuing about it being October 31st and his nightly patrol out, on the city and everything. But so yeah, I just decided to watch it during Halloween. And watching the movie again, because I've seen it already, and just watching it again, I think this is like, or this, my watch, or my, watching it this time around has really solidified that this is my favorite Batman movie, or I think this is the best Batman movie. And when I say that, I feel like there is like a kind of just like a sort of like, oh, when it comes to like Batman movies, we think of, or the best Batman movies, we think of, The Dark Knight, Christian Bale as Batman, those movies. And I will agree, and I feel like it is, you can debate that, The Dark Knight, or specifically The Dark Knight, with Heath Ledger as the Joker and everything, you could make an argument that is the best Batman film. But when we talk about Batman films, I feel like in particular, I feel like, and I don't know, I feel like, in not saying that Batman isn't, some of the best parts of a Batman film, I do think that, but like, especially when you talk about movies like The Dark Knight, or you just talk about like, you usually, the main thing that you think about is like not only Christian Bale as Batman, but Heath Ledger as the Joker. I feel like Heath Ledger definitely steals you could make an argument that Heath Ledger steals the freaking limelight from, Batman himself in that movie for like how iconic of a role, he is in that movie. Freaking The Dark Knight Rises with Bane, with the voice and everything, and how iconic that was. And then you just have all the other Batman films. Obviously, you have the Michael Keaton Batman films. When you talk about those films, obviously, I feel like you could make an argument that some of the villains in those movies overshadow Batman to a certain degree. But when it comes to Robert Pattinson's take on Batman, I just find myself enjoying his interpretation of the character the most. I don't know, I think it's mainly just like his presence and like his vibe, like, because at the beginning of the film, we get a feel of how this Batman is, and we get a feel of how like he's just so like cool. Like just the way he monologues the beginning of the movie, The freaking beginning with him in the train station and him showing up and like, you know, being this almost I don't even know the word for it, but like just being this like dark presence that like you can't even like describe. Like the freaking scene with him in the train station and like he's walking out of the shadows and just the footsteps alone of him they're like, and this is not the only scene, but there are like, I think like a couple other scenes where like you'll just have Batman, or you'll just have a scene of like you can hear footsteps in the background and you can just hear Batman slowly walking into like a scene. Or like a room or like an area or like whatever. And just that alone is just like, I think is the coolest thing like ever. Like literally Batman in this film feels like a cowboy or like a lone ranger, just like the way, not only like just like the way he looks, just like the costume and everything with like the holster and like the collar and like everything. It's just like it's so good, man. I mean, I can even talk about, you know, some of my favorite scenes in the movie, you know, namely the opening of the film, like I talked about, the police chase with him in the police station and him trying to like get out of the police station, and the whole, literally all the police are chasing him through like the hallway, and then like he gets onto the rooftop, and then this is like one of the first times that like he's using his, well, it's not really he's gliding for the first time, but it's like he has like this squirrel suit, but it's not really, it's like a prototype suit, but like you get scenes like that where like he's still learning to be Batman. Obviously this is a pretty young I guess inexperienced, he's been doing it for 2 years, so kind of inexperienced in a little bit, but like just like scenes like that. Obviously you have the car chase with the Penguin. That is, I will probably say that is probably my favorite action scene in this movie, is the chase with the Penguin. Just like the way they build up to it with like the rain and like the Penguin thinking that he's got the Batman, or he thinking that he's got Batman trapped, but in a surprise, like Batman is in his car and like you get the scene of him in the car and he's like I guess revving the engine, or like he's like the car is just making a bunch of noises and it sounds scary and amazing. And then you just have the chase scene itself with the music in the background. That's another thing that I can talk about in this movie. The music is so good. Like, I feel like in terms of like Batman themes, and maybe it's like just personal bias because I don't know, this is just the Batman that I've attached myself to, because it's the most recent one that I've gotten to experience for the first time. But just like the theme itself is so good. The way they use the thing, like when you think of like superhero movies, you know, the music is usually heroic and triumphant and like, you know, and everything. But like with this movie in particular, and with the character like Batman, it is more scary, more terrifying. It's almost like a horror movie, like how you know people have described it. And I do agree with that. There are like a lot of scenes where like it just straight up feels like, especially with the Penguin chase scene, like the scene of him, or the scene of Penguin just trying to frantically get away from Batman in like his car, is like so emblematic of like a horror scene, or like a horror like chase scene, or like whatever, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But like, and obviously you get the buildup of, you know, Batman freaking jumping off the freaking ramp through the fire, and like, you know, and everything, and it's like, it's so good. I love it so much. Just the way Batman delivers lines in this movie are so good.
You better watch it. You know my reputation.
Yeah, I do. Do you?
But yeah, just the way he like delivers lines are so good, or just so like Batman, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it, but like, yeah, just like Robert Pattinson does like such a good job as Batman. It's almost like it's almost just insane how like much we like going into like this movie when Robert Pattinson was cast. Like everyone was like, oh, that's the guy from Twilight. You're gonna get the guy from Twilight to be Batman. And just now looking at like his performance, like literally one of the best Batman performances, like in my opinion, ever, and one of my favorite. And so like, dude, freaking knocked it out of the park. Just also talking about like the cinematography of the movie. Obviously I'm pretty sure this movie, if I remember correctly, was shot on the volume, which is I think is the where they like use the like they use like these LED or not the LED, but they like usually use like these screens. But I'm pretty sure like the Mandalorian used it too, but like they use like these like screens to create like a backdrop or like a background of like, you know, a city or like an area or like whatever. And this usually or sometimes like when movies use the volume, it can look kind of I don't want to say fake, but like almost like I don't know, this kind of looks like but like with this movie in particular, like I know I think for some scenes they shot on location as well, but like there are just the way this movie is shot, the cinematography, the freaking it just looks so good. I just really love how this movie looks, like the usage of like color and red and black, and you know, obviously the city of Gotham, it's always raining, so you really get the feel of like how grungy and how dirty the city really is. That too. You also have the Penguin in this movie, which obviously the Penguin himself doesn't show up a lot in this movie, but like every time he shows up, he steals the freaking show. Freaking Colin Farrell, I'm pretty sure that's the actor who plays the Penguin in this movie, does a great job. Obviously you've heard people say that, like, you know, from this movie that like, oh, I didn't even know that was Colin Farrell. I didn't even recognize him. He looked so good in the outfit. He looked in everything. But like, yeah, just like the way he transforms into that character and everything, it's so good. It was so good that they even did a spin-off show with him, and I've seen that, and I think it's really good as well. R.I.P. Victor, by the way. I hate you, Penguin. I hope Batman freaking beats the freak out of you. Freaking does a triangle circle takedown on you in the next movie. But yeah, this movie is just so good. If I was to talk about like one last thing about this, or why I enjoy this movie so much, and it's probably one of my like, it might be my favorite scene in this movie. But the scene I'm talking about is one of the last scenes in the movie. It's kind of like the, I guess, climax of the film. The scene where the whole city is being flooded. Obviously, the Riddler's plan was to flood the city. But at the end of the movie, you know, we get to a point where we finally, because in this movie, that's another thing why I think this is the best Batman film, with Batman as a character. He has a character arc in the movie. obviously at the beginning of the movie, his whole thing is, I'm vengeance, I'm, you know, taking out these criminals and everything. But at the beginning of the film, he's still just kind of like a vigilante. He's not really a hero or anything. Yeah, obviously he's taking out criminals or anything and everything, but like he doesn't have the respect, or he doesn't have, people just see him as like another, I guess criminal, but even like vigilante, or just like a vigilante. Like, because at the beginning of the film, you know, obviously you have that scene with him at the train station. He beats up all those guys, but even after he saves that one dude, he's like, whoa, please don't hurt me. Like, please don't, you know, because he just doesn't have the trust of the people of Gotham yet. And so at the end of the film, we finally come back around to that line at the beginning of the film, I'm vengeance. One of the Riddler thugs at the end of the movie is like, or like, I think Commissioner Gordon asks, is like one of the Riddler thugs, who are you? Or like, would you know, or whatever. And his response is, I'm vengeance. And in that moment, you're supposed to, or Batman in that moment, finally understands that like he's been going about doing this whole Batman thing the wrong way. Like, obviously, you know, his whole thing is he beats on these criminals, and he's doing it for, you know, personal reasons. Obviously, he wants to help the people of Gotham, but at his core, he hasn't gotten over the death of his parents, and he uses you know, beating up thugs and like, you know, everything as kind of like an outlet for, you know, letting out his pain and everything like that. And I feel like we can all relate to that to a certain degree, of trying to do things, or trying to even things that are not good for you, like, you know, taking drugs, or, you know, freaking watching porn, or like trying to do things to numb the pain of whatever feeling that you're going through, or like whatever. And for Batman, that's beating up criminals. But at the end of the film, Batman finally realizes that he has to be more than just vengeance. He has to be hope for the city. And so we get the scene of him saving these people that are trapped because of the flood and everything. And just that whole that scene, like, watching it again, it got me emotional. It got me like actually emotional, man. I'm not gonna lie. Just because it's so, I don't know if it's like, I think it's partly due to the music that plays during that scene, and how just, I don't even know the word to describe it, like innocent it felt, or how like selfless, or like, because, you know, obviously in that moment, Batman he's trying to be selfless now. He's trying to put other people first and help these people however way he can, even if it's just, you know, helping people out of this flood, or like whatever. And yeah, that scene is just so good, and it's probably one of my favorite scenes in this movie. But yeah, man, that's all I really wanted to talk about in this video. In the comments down below, is the Batman, is that your favorite Batman movie, or is, like, tell me what your favorite Batman movie is down in the comment section below. It doesn't have to be this movie. It can be any other of the Batman movies. It can even be the one with it can even be the one where Batman has nipples on his has nipples on his costume. I forget which movie that. I think that's Batman and Robin. I don't know. But yeah, man, I love Batman. I love talking about Batman. I love the character. He's one of my favorite superheroes. And yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about in this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, and I will see you guys on the next one. So yeah, bye.